Welcome to the Crystal Self-Healer Podcast. I'm Corissa Weaver. On this podcast, we blend the magic of crystals with the science of psychology to help you break free from chaos, ditch the overwhelm, and master your emotions so you can have more energy, get more done, and feel better every day. Get ready to unlock your intuition and restore your true power as we cover how you can transform your life using crystals and self-awareness. Are you ready to get started? All right, let's go. When I was going through my certification to become a crystal healer, I was required to do client sessions as part of my practicum. One of these sessions proved to be particularly interesting because the client happened to be a non-believer in alternative therapies. As a self-proclaimed skeptic, this client, who also happens to be the hubs, humored me in being one of my first practicum sessions. As I reflect on these early days of my practice and his reactions and responses to his trial session, I thought it would be interesting to do an episode that covers what to expect from crystal healing. So let's set the stage here so we can have some fun digging into this experience. This skeptical client, while gracious enough to be one of my practice sessions, was also approaching the session with a fixed mindset, one that was expecting nothing of significance to happen. For me as the practitioner, I was fresh and new, still wet behind the ears, if you will, and hadn't acquired confidence in my skills, belief in myself as a practitioner, or the full vocabulary or expanse of experience that would have facilitated this particular session with this particular kind of client. The best thing I had going for me in that moment was my overall excitement and desire to complete my practicum in order to receive my certification. I was willing to jump in, not fully knowing what I didn't know. So I set up a yoga mat on the floor for him, covered him with a blanket, and got to work. Remember, these were early days, and I didn't have all the bells and whistles like a massage table or the crystal bowls or all the other bits and pieces that would become incorporated into the sessions I offered later. But this serves as a reminder that you don't need anything fancy to carry out effective crystal healing sessions. In the beginning, I was doing sessions for people on the floor, the couch, even my kitchen table. The session itself went along as it was supposed to. I followed the steps that my teacher provided as a guideline, and nothing unexpected occurred, other than me realizing that I really didn't like doing sessions on the floor. It's hard on the knees and not conducive to quiet, flowing movement when the client is in a deep, restful state that they can achieve. Anyway, following the session, I asked for feedback and details into what he experienced during the session. He expressed that he felt the placement and removal of the crystals, a sense of relaxation, and a tickling on his nose and warmth at the locations of the crystals. And this is where it gets fun. He continued to explain away why he felt these sensations. It must have been dog hair that was tickling his nose, and the crystals were reflecting back his own body heat. Obviously. So here's where more experience and a more elaborate vocabulary would have supported me as a practitioner. I would have been able to ask more exploratory questions to enable him to explain more easily and precisely what his experience was. And with a better vocabulary, I would have also had a more robust way of explaining things so that he could relate to it. Anyway, while some people can have fantastic results immediately, others may be left scratching their heads, not sure what they've experienced. And here's where I want to revisit the fact that this client came into the session with a fixed mindset. There is research out of Stanford University and Boston Medical Center published in the Journal of the American Medical Association, stating that the mindset held by the individual can profoundly affect health and well-being. They state that mindsets can be changed to improve the effectiveness of active medications and behavioral treatments. While this study was specifically looking at the patient-clinician relationship, the thing to note is that they were looking at how mindset can enhance the effectiveness of treatment. And it can go the other way too. Repetitive negative thoughts are often associated with adverse health outcomes. Because this client was skeptical, he was looking for ways to have his experience match his expectation. Remember, we've talked a lot in the past episodes about how our observation bias seeks out what we want to see and experience. And since I get to debate this client on the regular, he will often explain away experiences invoking a placebo effect. For those not familiar with the placebo effect, it is a phenomenon where an improvement is experienced after receiving a treatment that has no therapeutic effect on its own. Used heavily in medical research, the placebo effect is used as a control in clinical trials and treatments, meaning it's used to differentiate between the actual effectiveness of a treatment and those created by expectations held by the patient. A study published in The Lancet cites more recent research that demonstrates the placebo effect can be a genuine psychobiological phenomenon, and that they don't necessarily require the proverbial sugar pill to be experienced. They cite research showing that mindset or expectations to heal can trigger specific neurobiological correlates, including the immune, cardiovascular, and neuroendocrine systems. These physiological changes are created by the mind because of expectations, beliefs, and perceptions held by the client. Again, because of the skepticism held by this client, his decision that any experience he had was a placebo effect also affected his ability to be fully open and receptive to the potential outcome of the session, because he was assuming that all sensations were not real. So when someone comes to me and they are blocked by all their thoughts, beliefs, and expectations, I get excited about the possibility and potential that lies ahead of them, should they choose to accept the mission. I get excited because when someone chooses to allow themselves to be open to the potential, they have the opportunity to experience so many wonderful things. Some of my clients have experienced an increase in their sensory awareness, meaning they're more attuned to the energies, vibrations, and sensations of their crystals and within their own bodies, making it easier for them to connect with their own emotions and needs over those of other people. Others experience an increase in their emotional clearing and balance, meaning an increased ability to experience the healing process and the facilitation of emotional release, heightened introspection, and self-awareness. Some have expressed experiencing enhanced intuition, meaning their intuitive abilities are amplified, allowing them to connect more deeply with their inner wisdom, insights, and inner intuitive guidance. Additionally, others experienced integration of core values and beliefs that facilitates creating healthy energetic boundaries, releasing toxic attachments, and enhancing the ability to protect their own energy. A wonderful crystal to incorporate here would be citrine, a crystal that stimulates the solar plexus chakra, inspires creativity, and our willpower to make our dreams our reality. So many of my clients have come to me when they are operating with core beliefs and values that create pain and discomfort for them because of the cognitive dissonance around prioritizing others and not tending to the things they really want to do. Or they are plagued by expectations and rules for how things should be without knowing that many of these rules and expectations are self-imposed limitations and their participation is completely optional. Or they're struggling with negative views of themselves, experiencing imposter syndrome or low self-worth, leaving them feeling insecure. When you're living with heightened sensitivity, navigating emotions and energies can be both enriching and challenging. The possibilities that open up to you when you combine crystal healing and mindset work holds profound potential to anyone attuned to subtle nuances. So, for those who are blocked by their mindset, or those who are aware of where they want to shift things within their life, but they're at a loss for how to make it happen, that's where doing the work to uncover what's keeping them from experiencing the peace, joy, laughter, and calm we all desire comes in. What we do inside the Crystal Self-Healer Members Portal integrates your crystal healing practice with the tools you can use to shift your thinking and mindset so you can master your emotional and mental well-being. Earlier, I talked about the amplification of energetic sensitivity. Crystal healing magnifies energetic sensitivity, enhancing your intuition and deepening your awareness of subtle energies. When coupled with mindset work, such as grounded awareness or thought work, you can cultivate a more receptive and aligned mindset. This allows for a deeper exploration of emotions and energetic dynamics, fostering greater clarity and insight. Imagine gaining a clearer understanding of emotions and their origins, allowing for greater emotional insight and intelligence. Crystal healing acts as a catalyst for expanding awareness and connecting with inner wisdom. When it comes to emotional clearing and balance, a core aspect of crystal healing is facilitating emotional release and inner balance. The combination of crystal healing and mindset work creates a harmonious space for emotional release and inner balance. Mindset practices like journaling or reframing thoughts complement the healing process by supporting the integration of emotions and promoting self-awareness. This integrated approach empowers individuals to navigate their emotions and build resilience and authenticity. Imagine experiencing the emotional bandwidth and catharsis you could experience when you're armed with the tools to control and manage your triggers. Crystal healing allows you to achieve a state of calm, cool, level-headedness that empowers you to exercise your free will over the automatic responses that create the stress and tension cycle you experience now. And finally, when it comes to integration of core values and beliefs, the opportunity to personalize your crystal healing and mindset work allows you to tailor your experience in order to address the specific needs and intentions that are important to you now, while also staying true to the values and beliefs you consciously choose to hold. Imagine experiencing a sense of compassion and empowerment that comes from living in true alignment with who you know you are, because you're no longer hiding or feeling like you don't matter. When you combine the practices of crystal healing with the deeper mindset work, you will start to experience gradual shifts in perception, enhanced self-discovery, and a deeper sense of well-being. And because you're addressing how you think about things, the foundation for change that you build becomes a sustainable, long-term form of healing. The work we do inside the Crystal Self-Healer Members Portal is deeply personal, but immensely liberating. Who wouldn't want to identify and boldly follow their path, be able to rely on their intuition while also having the confidence to stand firm in their convictions, their ability to say no to things that drain them, and not end up in the guilt and shame spiral? If you're ready for that, I invite you to book a complimentary discovery call to learn how you can get started. The link is in the show notes. As I've stated in a previous episode, crystal healing should not be used to replace the advice and guidance of your medical professionals, but can be an excellent complementary practice that amplifies the benefits of your medical interventions and healing through mindset awareness and maybe even a little placebo effect. Today's episode has been brought to you by Citrine and Mindset. May we all be courageous enough to examine the thoughts that keep us playing small and the willpower to create the life of our dreams. Blessed be, my friends. All right, my friends, that wraps up this week's episode. Thank you for joining me here today on the Crystal Self-Healer podcast. If you haven't already, hit subscribe, leave a review, and take the What Crystal is Best for You quiz linked in the show notes. Join me again next week as we continue to demystify crystals, how your brain works, and how you can use them so you can have more energy, get more done, and feel better every day.